Hi everyone, welcome back into another video. We've had a delivery, let's have a look. So, as you can see, our new leathers for the year have turned up, and as you can see, you'll do well to miss us in these this year. So, as far as I'm aware, RST have made this limited run of leathers for the TT, this TT edition, and they're going to be made available to the public to buy. We've had sets made for our sizes, but also we've had them made with no hump in the back for the simple reason that when we put our jackets on top of the leathers with the hump, it tends to pull on our necks a little bit. So we asked RST if they'd take the hump out. As they always do, they oblige, and they've gone out their way to make us some special sets just to make our job a little bit easier. But yeah, they're real eye catchers, those, aren't they? I like them, and I talked about this last year with the helmet. The corporate colours of TT now with the orange and blue, I think works well anyway. And obviously they're going down the same road with these, and yeah, they look great. And on top of them, TC branded boots. So at least they'll go with them too. And again, I'm pretty sure that RST are making these for anyone to buy. So if you fancy them, if you like them, go and have a look up the RST tent and pick yourself a set up. We're a bit of a walking advert for RST, obviously. So yeah, we've got them to wear this year, and it looks great. Obviously, the slight difference with the suit is that you're only going to see us from the waist down. So although they still look really great, you're not going to see any of this with our jackets on. But yeah, they look great, they fit great, and I'm sure they're going to be just the job for us for this year. So it's not every year we get a new set of leathers, we get them kind of just when we need them. With some of the boys doing like the Pre-TT Classic and the Southern and a few other things, that they just have more time spent in them, and some people's wear out quicker than others, and when you need a new set, RST, send us a new set. And obviously from previous pictures and things you'll see them, we're always in black leathers. There are different generations of the way the technology with leather's moved on over the last 10 years since I've been doing it. But to look at a glance, you just think it was the same set every time. But this is the first time we've had them in this colour. It's not like we get new leathers every year. We just kind of get them when we need them. And the opposite to that is the helmets, right? One of these we do get every year. And again, I hate repeating myself, but I'm never going to stop saying thank you to Arai for sending these helmets. They're just like, they are the prized possession of the year. For me, personally, and I'm sure the other boys will agree, these are such an amazing helmet. It's such a great gesture from such a brilliant company. And I can't wait to see the new design every time it comes out. And the design comes out well ahead of time. Like you see it 6 months maybe before the TT. So we kind of know what's coming, but it's never the same until you get it in your hands. And obviously, and to have one and get to keep one, amazing. Arai, thank you, always be grateful. So let's have a quick look at the lid. And here she is, this year's 2025 TT edition Arai helmet. And a few are going to say, oh, it looks the same as last year's. And colour-wise, it is very similar. It is very similar to last year's. If I hold up last year's as well, you'll see that there's not the biggest difference that you can see on there. But obviously there are some subtle differences and different things. Which one do I prefer? I'm not too sure yet. I always go with the new one because it's new. It's just that colour, and I don't know, it reminds me of someone's helmet. I don't know who it is. I'm not sure exactly who it reminds me of, but like right now, yeah, this just looks great. Obviously it's brand new and not seen any action or anything yet, so it looks really good. But yeah, obviously with the leathers, it just goes, doesn't it? You know, it all matches up, and that's obviously part of the reason why it's in these colours, as well as it being the corporate TT colours. But yeah, really nice helmet. And again, if you're in a position where you want to go and buy one of these, they will be up the grandstand. They do sell out. They sell them out every year, so I know they're expensive, but they're high demand. And yeah, it'll go. I'm waiting on another cabinet coming, because I've got 4 in here, and I've got 3 up there and a couple down here, and I need to get another cabinet for them. Yeah, like, it's worse problems to have, isn't there, than not have enough cabinet space for your limited edition Arais. But yeah, again, thanks to Arai, just such an amazing lid. Like, not just to look at, and not just because it's limited edition, but safety-wise, we all know, we don't need to talk about it. Arai like top of the list, aren't they, when it comes to helmet safety. And on top of that, before I forget, the TT gloves. So I'm a big fan of RST gloves. They fit me really well, and so we've got them this year with TT branding on, and again, all matched up, color coordinated and ready to go. So yeah, these will be available too, I'm sure. Just head to that RST tent at the back of the grandstand and get yourself some if all this color scheme works for you. So we've not really had any sort of catch up since the Northwest 200, and the Northwest was really exciting, some great racing, some controversial moments in there, but what's coming out of it is the fact that we've got a load of people going really, really quick, and the TT's coming. And up until the last couple of days, when the weather started to turn, everyone has been talking to me about lap records again. And if you ask the riders, it's sort of like, don't care about lap records. All that matters is wins. Lap records will always be broken, and whoever set the first 133, 134 mile an hour lap is no longer really talked about because we're in the 136s. And someone was saying to me, do you think it's possible to do a 137? And it's like, well, it's absolutely possible. If you take the best sector times, it's nearly 137 and a half. So when you used to talk about lap times, it used to be roughly, once you get to a certain speed, around, I think it's 115-ish, something like that, and onwards, it's roughly 10 seconds per mile an hour. And obviously that varies and changes as you go, and the faster you get, the smaller the seconds need to be to go another mile an hour quicker. And you're down to a point now where it's like 6 or 7 seconds. So the difference between the lap record right now, 136.36, and the best sector lap record, if you put them together, 137.4 something, it's a whole mile an hour. That sounds huge, and because 10 seconds was huge when you're talking about the old speeds, but now I think you need to find 6 point something, maybe 7 seconds. I say only, it's still a lot to find, but when you're talking about over that course of such a long lap, it doesn't seem so big anymore. But the 1 mile an hour seems huge. Like to go to 137 and a half seems like a massive jump. And it is a big jump, but it's just time-wise, it's not as big as it used to be. So even just to get into the 137s, I think they need to shave off 4 seconds off Hickey's lap record to get into the 137s. And again, I say only 4, and it takes a lot of doing, but it's not as big as it sounds. If someone went out and did a 137.1, I'm like, oh my God, what a massive leap. But it's probably only 4 or 5 seconds quicker than the lap record. So yeah, first thing is 137 is absolutely doable, because technically it's kind of been done if you put the sectors together. And if everything came together perfectly, a mid 137 is obviously doable, and a 38 is. And it sounds crazy, but if you said to me 10 years ago a mid 36, that would sound crazy. So it's a 38. It's probably 10 seconds away from where we are now, and probably only 5 or 6 seconds, less than that, probably 4 or 5 seconds quicker than the perfect sectors right now. So a 138 is completely doable. It's completely doable. It sounds crazy to say, but it's completely doable. And when you put it like that, it seems to make sense. But when someone says, oh, do you think you can do 138 like this year? It's like, they definitely could if everything came perfectly together. Because people seem to think, oh, you can only do 138 maybe in another 5, maybe another 10 years, because it sounds like a massive jump just in terms of speed. But in terms of time, it's completely doable. I'm not saying it will happen. It probably won't happen. The quicker you go, ultimately, the harder it is to find more time, and the slower these lap records get beaten just by the nature of time. That's just the way it is. The quicker you go, the harder it is to find more time. But yeah, that's my simple answer to it is 37 technically has already been done if you put the sectors together. So that is definitely not impossible, because it can be done, and a 38 can be done too. And it's that simple. And someone's probably going to shoot me down in the comments now, but it is that simple. In terms of what we've been up to for the last couple of weeks, not been too much. We had the bikes out at Derby for our annual sign-off. We get assessed by an ACU instructor, and then we get a special ACU Traveller Marshal license for the TT. So that's all been done, and it was done in glorious weather that no longer exists at the moment. And I talked about the weather many times in the last few videos, and it it wasn't me jinxing it, because people say, oh, I saw your video, and as soon as you said that, I knew it was going to start raining. But it's not. It's just that those patterns of weather, those high pressure zones that come in, they tend to last a certain amount of time, and that time's sort of been and gone, and it's moved out. Not to say it won't come back in towards the end of practice week. It looked like it was going to, and the last few days it seems like that's a little bit less likely now. And if you're on your smartphone and you go to the weather app, all it shows is rain, 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 rain every single day for the next 10 days to some description. Now, that might be just an hour in the morning and we get away with it for the rest of the day. Right now, it's just too unpredictable to say because of the nature of the way these showers come in. It's really difficult, and you see lots of negative comments about it to do with the weather and typical and this and it's, you know, and yeah, it's frustrating. But like, listen, none of us can do anything about the weather. Never have been able to. We never will. You just got to make the best of it. And we've just got really unlucky again. 2 years ago it was really good. Last year it wasn't, and this year it's not going to be. But there'll be plans in place to get the best out of what we get. But yeah, enough about the weather. That'll just be what it'll be. And then a few days ago, we were up meeting with the helicopter guys, going through any new procedures, new landing sites, new medical equipment that we're going to carry and how to use that if we need to. So that's always important, and it's always a really good refresher to meet with those guys and get everything bang up to date on what's expected from us and what we're to expect from them through any procedure changes that they might be doing. So that's all been done. We are meeting them again tomorrow because the first meeting is just with the doctors and the paramedics, and they talk to us about the procedures. The meeting tomorrow, the helicopter will be there, so just any changes physically with the helicopter. Yeah, it's only really us and the flight crew who are able and supposed to use anything on that helicopter. So it's important to go and just check nothing's changed, and just get a quick refresher on it, because if you're in and out of that helicopter every week, it's just becomes second nature. But if you only use it 2 weeks of the year like we do, it's just good to get that refresher. So that's tomorrow as well. Tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow morning, we're at the grandstand for a photo shoot with RST and Arai and the sponsors. So we'll be up in pit lane. Hopefully the sun's shining to get some nice pictures for that. And then the day after, we go first practice. So it's come round really, really fast again, and I know it does. And you think you've got loads of time to get everything ready, but it comes around quick. We've got our radios now. Everything's ready. You know, we are ready to go. And right now, 3 of the boys are down at the pre-TT Classic doing their travelling marshal duties down there. And yeah, that's I don't envy them that, because it's 3 really, really busy days before you even get started on TT. And then first day of TT is a huge one. And like me and the boys who don't go down to the Southern will be into it nice and fresh. The only flip side is the boys are getting a few laps down at Balown, and they're getting used to the bikes a bit more and getting themselves up to speed a bit more. So there is that side to it. That is maybe an advantage, but there's no substitute for riding around the TT course. So yeah, first night of practice. Obviously, first day of practice, I hope we get a good schedule in. It's important for that first day for everyone to settle down, get as many laps in as possible. And I think the first afternoon session's untimed anyway. They're just to get yourself back used to riding around here. And if you get a good first day, it calms everybody down. If you miss the first or the first couple, and all of a sudden it's like Tuesday, Wednesday practice week, and you've only had a couple of laps, people can start to maybe just take bigger steps naturally than they should. So it's good to get that first day out of the way with as many laps as possible. And I'm looking forward to getting a run out as well, getting used to the bike more, and just to give us a chance to get up to speed as well. So when you come back every year, the first night, everything comes at you so fast, and it just takes a few laps just for your brain to be able to absorb everything at that speed. And there's no way to prepare for it. Maybe the Northwest 200 is a good way to prepare for it with the speed, but it doesn't matter how much short circuit riding you've done until you come here and start going fast. That getting your head to compute all that information and to become normal, to feel like a normal speed, just takes a few nights. So I like to get those first few nights done to just to get ourselves up to a decent level as well. So that pretty much brings you up to speed on where we're at. The Smallnow's up the grandstand, getting signed on, and also getting all my marshal stuff sorted out. So we sign on as a marshal, the same as any other trackside marshal would. pick up the Marshals packs and basically sign on for the event. And I know they've got good numbers for Marshals this year, but you can never have too many, and they'll definitely be short in a few sectors here and there. So if you're thinking about doing it and you want to get involved, head up to that TTMA tent behind the grandstand next to the Halewood Centre, get yourself signed on, and you'll get access to some of the best spots on the course. I know loads of you guys who watch this already marshal. And if some of you guys are sort of maybe thinking about it but not too sure, give it a shot. It's yeah, there's a responsibility to it, but it's nice to be involved in it rather than just being a spectator. And the access to some of the spots you get to watch is just like, well, money can't buy it. You know, you only get to do it if you're a marshal. So if there's some real like good spots that you've ever thought, I'd love to watch there, just sign up and be a marshal. Yeah, you're gonna have a job to do and you're gonna be responsible, but the trade-off is you get to watch at some of the best places on the course. So I'll leave it there. If you see us around, say hello. You're not really going to miss us wearing these this year, are you? Not like you normally do anyway with the yellow jackets. But yeah, let's hope for some good weather on Monday. Let's hope we get a good session out of the way and start the practice week off as good as we can with plenty of laps. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.